Hello. I'm going to try to talk a little faster this time. Okie dokie. Observation 1. Inherency, subpoint A. Declining federal funding has placed the interstate highway system in a crisis. Andrew Glillman, Director of Public Relations, 2012. The current situation facing this country's roads is dire. Federal funding is a key resource to keeping these lifelines of commerce open. However, efforts to maintain U.S. roadways are falling short of acceptable. Observation 2. Harms, subpoint A. Roads are a bloody mess. Robert Poole, Director of Transportation Policy at Reason Foundation, August 2010. Every serious study in recent years has concluded that America is underinvesting in highway infrastructure. Indeed, we are not even investing enough to maintain its current mediocre performance and condition, let alone enough to produce major improvements. The facilitation of interstate highway and commerce and international trade are clearly federal responsibilities, so a larger emphasis on interstate and international transportation should be at the core of a rethought federal rule. The interstate highway system was laid out more than 60 years ago. Increasing portions of it are reaching the end of their design life and need complete reconstruction. Most urban interstates need major additions to eliminate bottlenecks and reduce congestion, and as the lifeblood of goods movement, many inner-city interstates need more lanes to handle projected growth in truck traffic. A major federal effort to rebuild and modernize the interstate system for the 21st century would give new focus to the federal highway program. Therefore, we offer the following plan. The United States federal government should substantially increase investment to build and modernize the interstate highway system. Mandates. Number 1, Congress shall donate its entire pay to the highway fund. 2, taxes of 50% will be placed on people earning $1 million or more. The money will go to the highway fund. 3, taxes will be collected on people who collect dolls, toys, and figurines. If you got money to spend on precious moments, you got money to give to the highway fund. Observation 3, solvency, subpoint A. Increased investment in the interstate highway system is key to maintaining mobility and decreased congestion. Robert Poole, Director of Transportation Policy at the Reason Foundation, August 2010. There are 5 fundamental reasons why America must continue large-scale capital investments in its highway system. First, highways and bridges wear out over time, yet limited preservation investment in recent decades has allowed the accumulation of huge backlogs of deferred maintenance and rehabilitation, leading to faster deterioration. Second, when highways and bridges do wear out, they must be replaced. Much of the interstate system will be in this situation in the next 2 decades. Third, the places where Americans live and work has changed dramatically since the interstate system was planned. Hence, some new highways are needed to connect places that scarcely existed 70 years ago. Fourth, significant proportions of our major highways are undersized for current, let alone future travel demand. Improved performance, reduced congestion, therefore requires additional capacity. Fifth, Americans continue to consume more and goods move in the country mainly by roads. Almost 70% of domestic freight moves by truck, and a great deal of freight moved primarily by rail also moved by truck for part of its journey. Continuing to move more goods more quickly will require better roads. Subpoint B. Increased investment in the interstate highway system is key to sustained economic growth. Robert Poole, 2010. The age of highways, automobiles, and trucks is far from being over. Trucks haul the majority of goods moved into America, and projections show that this truck volume will increase 2.5 times by 2035. All responsible projections based on continued growth in both population and GDP show continued growth in driving. In the coming decades, our economy depends on improved mobility. We need a system that makes it easier for more people to connect to more places, and it remains roads and personal vehicles and trucks that provide that mobility. Consequently, the need for highway investment will continue. This plan gives us the following advantages. Advantage 1, the economy, subpoint A. The U.S. economy is key to the global economy. David Kapol, 2009. Global economy has been American-centered for more than 60 years. This deep interconnection between the U.S. and the rest of the world also explains how the collapse of a relatively small sector has cascaded in a global crisis. There is no other engine for the world economy. If the U.S. does not drive global economic growth is not going to happen. Subpoint B, revitalizing the interstate highway system is key to competitiveness. From the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, February 27. This congestion antiquated network hinders the United States at a time of soaring global competition. Transportation is an essential component of American competitiveness. To compete effectively, America must build a 21st century American transportation system that allows the country to compete in a global economy. America's vaulted success as the most efficient and productive nation in the world is about to slip. Far-reaching policies must be adopted if America is to retain its competitive advantage. And subpoint C, economic decline causes global war. From Walter Russell Mead, 2009. Crisis can strengthen the hand of religious extremists, populist radicals, or authoritarian traditionalists who are determined to resist liberal capitalist society. History may suggest that financial crisis actually can help capitalist great powers maintain their leads, but it has other less reassuring messages as well. If financial crisis has been a normal part of life during the 300-year rise of capitalist system, so is war. Bad economic times can breed wars. The Depression poisoned the German public opinion and helped bring Adolf Hitler to power. If the crisis turns into a depression, what rough beast might start slouching towards Moscow, Beijing, or New Delhi? If we can't get the world economy back on track, we may still have to fight. So, the advantage of this is that by fixing the economy, we will avoid war. Advantage 2, military. Subpoint A, military primacy is key to sustaining international trade. From Zhang, 2011. Over the past 2 decades, no other state has the ability to seriously challenge the U.S. military. Under these circumstances, motivated by both opportunity and fear, many actors have bandwagoned with the U.S. and accepted a subordinate role, creating a status that has tended to mute great power conflicts. However, as that power that drew these powers together withers, so will the pulling power behind the U.S. alliance. The result will be an international order where power is more diffuse, American interest and influence can be more readily challenged, and conflicts or wars may be harder to avoid. As a result of such political stability, free markets, liberal trade, and flexible mechanisms have appeared. And with this, many countries have sought opportunities to enter the system, proliferating stable and cooperative relations. What will happen to these advances as America's influence declines? Given that America's authority has benefited people across much of Latin America, Central and Eastern Europe, the Balkans, as well as parts of Africa, and quite extensively in Asia, the answer to this question could affect global society in a profound way. Subpoint B, an efficient interstate highway system is key to military primacy and power projection. Wendell Cox, Professor of Public Policy at the Conservatory of National Arts, June 1996. One of the principal reasons for building the interstate highway system was to support national defense. National security dictated development of an efficient national highway system that could move large numbers of military personnel on huge quantities of military equipment and supplies. The interstate highway system efficiently performs that function. It may be tempting to underestimate the role of the interstate highway system in national defense, but the interstate highway system continues to play a critical role. The U.S. military strategic highway corridor network relies primarily on the interstate highway network, which represents 75% of network mileage. The U.S. Army cited that system as being critical to the success of the U.S.-led operation to free Kuwait from Iraq. Much of the success in the operation was due to our logistic ability to rapidly move troops to the theater. The capacity of the U.S. highway system to support the mobilization troops and move equipment and forces to U.S. ports of embarkment was key to the successful deployment. The modal redundancy of the highway system, which provided rapid and effective movements of military division when difficulties with a rail line precluded the planned transport by rail. The interstate highway system continues to play an important role in national defense, even in the post-Cold War area. By investing in the United States highways, we are investing in our national security and our ability to project